The lights are on, the countdown's low, engines roar, feel the power flow. Singapore nights, the track's alive, Gavin's show is about to drive. PRF1, we're shifting gears, Hamilton division, bring the cheers. Tires burn and hearts ignite, Gavin's F1 show starts tonight. Start your engines, here we go. Racing legends steal the show. From Arena Bay to Victory Lane, Gavin won in the Hall of Fame. Feel the thrills, just sure about you. When tied to lighting and after those stop plays with the heat, not to signal, shots to rendezvous. Oh, a pretty speed is fire, it's coming soon. No, Gavin's friends show will both. Silver arrow, slicing time. Hamilton leads his race in prime. Pit stop plans and flawless lines. Precision, passion, and perfect drives. Midnight turns, the crowd will scream. This ain't just sport, it's a dream. PRF1 take the lead. Gavin show on the speed. Start your engines, here we go. Racing legends steal the show. From Marina Bay to Victory Lane, Summer Lane, Gavin's name in the Hall of Fame. Feel the thrill, the turbo tune. Under the stars and Singapore moon. It's speed, it's fire, it's coming soon. Gavin's F1 show will light the room. So buckle up, don't miss the run. History's written turn by turn with PRF1 and Gavin's crew. Whoa. Singapore, we're racing through. Engines scream under Hamilton skies. Saturday night where the legends rise. Full distance, no shortcuts in sight. Full race laps in the dead of night. Rubber burns and the lights go out. Strategy wars and overtaking cloud. On the edge with every turn. For glory, pride, and tires that burn. This is PRF1. We don't play pretend. Flat out racing right to the end. This is PRF1 like thunder and flame. every name. Saturday thunder, speeding on veins, fueling the passion, driving insane. No pit lane drama can stop the ride. In the Hamilton heat, we come alive. From pole to T20, it's anyone's fight. One bad call and you're out of the light. Rain or shine, we roll the dice. Every second's a sacrifice. ERS flows, the DRS fly. Risking it all for that podium high. Team radio screen, tensions collide. But Gavin's calm, he's the racing guy. And when the battles get tight, when it's wheel to wheel in the night, you'll hear what a move in Gavin's tone, like Marie Walker in a modern zone. This is PRF1, where passion ignites. Tarmac warriors chasing the lights. Full race mode, no quarter show. Hamilton League, where skills are grown. Unbelievable scenes here tonight, and that's why you don't blink during PRF1. You get in a
Well, good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's Gavin Bass 1 here Saturday night, PRF1, and it's the Singapore Grand Prix this evening, short quali and 62 laps of intense humidity. I think it might even be a nighttime race, I'm not too sure, but only seems to be 12 in the grid after looking earlier to see that there was nearly a full grid. So it looks like a lot of people have let us down this evening. If anybody happens to be listening, could you just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me okay? That always gives me reassurance that my stream's working and my microphone's working so that we don't have any problems. Just on the stream, for anybody that doesn't know, if you want to get rid of the adverts and you do have a Amazon Prime account, if you subscribe to my Twitch channel, and whenever you press that subscribe button, it gives you the option to subscribe via Amazon Prime. Do that, it costs you nothing, and Amazon Prime pays for it through your account. Um, if you want to get rid of the ads completely, you can just subscribe. I'm not too sure how much it is, but it's not a lot of money, and I don't expect you to spend it to watch me. But they add me a little income and certainly helps me to buy refills for my vape. That's about all it pays for, but at least it gets a little bit of money in, and it's always very welcome. So if you want to get rid of those adverts, just subscribe. And if you want to subscribe for free and you have an Amazon Prime account, you just subscribe via Amazon Prime. And it would be very, very much appreciated if you did that. But I'm not too sure what's going on this evening. It looks like we have 12 on the grid at the moment and a very delayed start. So again, if anybody's listening, maybe they could just let me know via Twitch. I don't tend to use Discord while I'm streaming because it just eats up the internet and I'm trying to protect every little megabyte and gigabyte that comes in there. So if anybody would be kind enough just to let me know through Twitch. Looks like we've only got a 12 driver grid tonight. This could make for a bit of a boring race, but we'll see how it goes anyway. And that's just very, very unfortunate that that's happened. Terrible when people let you down. But anyway, it is what it is, and hopefully these 12 guys can produce a decent race for us this evening at Singapore. Again, this is PRF1. It's the Hamilton division. It's a 100% race, 62 laps around Singapore with a short qualification. And the guys are all readying up now. And we'll have a look at the quali, see how it does. So good luck, everybody, tonight racing. And hope you have your setups in. And I hope it's a dry race and a very enjoyable one at that. There mustn't be anyone watching tonight because nobody's speaking to me. So I'm feeling very left out here. So poor Gavin, always like to have a little interaction through Twitch. People telling me that what they're going to do and their strategies and things like that. But doesn't seem to be much action tonight through Twitch. The TV's on in the background and I'm as quiet as possible because I have to do it all in the one room from my holiday home. So whenever I put a big seriously interrupts the signal, and that's why last week. Um, so out tonight after such a good enrolment. So had I known that, to be honest with you, I think I just would have watched movies tonight rather than doing this. But let's produce some sort of a decent race. So Dystopian's bursting at the seams to get out there and get an outlap in, and he's a firm as always on a Saturday night. We've got PRF1 Clem driving the Red Bull this evening. We've got Dystopian random in the Mercedes. Dystopian's driving the Haas, and DK's driving the Haas this evening. Driving the Alpine this evening, and at the wheel of the McLaren tonight we have Scottish Bakey Gaming. Hiya Bakey, good to have you here. And the other Alpine's Master Spread, and it's good to see Master Spread out this evening. And then we have Fuse. He's piloting the McLaren this evening. He's still in the pits, and we have Vaxi in the Aston Martin. Another one very much to watch. And Andrew Pip Smith is in the Red Bull this evening, and he is never misses a race from what I can. Always here, always gives it his best shot, and improving every week. So I wish Andrew a very, very good. Then in the Ferrari in 11th on the screen there at the minute, we have Mischief. Or sorry, not Mischief, Misfits. He's driving the Ferrari, of course, and then the Mercedes of Hosty just at the bottom of the list there. So, but Dystopian's on a lap. It is night time, so we've got full illuminations here at Singapore. It looks to be dry, and the graphics are brilliant when it's night time, and I must admit it's really enjoyable to watch. Swings very tight left-hander there, and then he gets on to the short straight here before he swings it left and into the technical section. And this little left-hander coming up here is one that you have to really get right. Some people swing ever so slightly. The odd person swings slightly right there and then switches into the left just to get a wee bit more momentum. Robbo snipes, I'm en route, Gavin. I hope you make it, buddy. I don't know whether you can get in or not. We've only 14 minutes left of the quali, so hopefully you get in, sir, and thanks for the message. We're still on board with, let's see, random user, he puts in a 1:38.49, so he has set the stall out this evening for the time to beat so far. Nice message from DK there. Baxi puts in a 1:29.740. DK says, hello, my good friend. Looking forward to the stream. Hope you're looking after yourself. Yeah, I am, bud. I don't chat as much as we used to, and I would like to, but sending my love, my Irish friend. Oh, that's lovely. That's DK, and I wish this evening. We're on at the minute with Bakey in the McLaren, but Baxi's put in a 1:29. Hosty Misfits has put in a 1:35, 1:38.49, and Andrew has put in a 1:31.3. All here in Singapore this evening under the lights. Going to ride on board and stay with Bakey just to see how he gets on. So at least two tonight. We've got DK and we've got Becky. Hope they have a big full belly full of haggis tonight and they're well energised. So Becky puts in a 1:31.146 and 7th position tonight in the just going to jump on now with Clem, and he is in the Red Bull this evening, and he's just up a lap, so he's just approaching the start and finish grid now, and we'll see where Clem ends up. And he puts in a lovely lap and puts it into second place there on 1:30. That's a very, very respectable lap. Well done, Clem. Clem is owner of the league, and a hell of a job he does along with his administration and Stuart staff. And I'm putting a big shout out there whether they want me to or not, but come on guys, let's support this Hamilton league a wee bit better and let's get it off the ground. Vaxy's talking to me. Hiya Vaxy, good to speak to you, buddy. I hope you're going to put it into the 128s for me tonight. Don't be letting me down. 129.7's no good. Your lap felt bad. What felt bad about it? Is the car a bit slidey? Very hard to know what to do in terms of tyres tonight, but it's probably medium hard. It's definitely a two-stopper. I'm going to jump on with DK. And DK's just coming round the I hear you, Baxi. I was actually doing a bit of an outlap earlier just to get my head around Singapore because it's been a wee while since I felt the car quite slidey as well. So don't maybe let the tyres down a wee bit. He says the car's like a boat. But anyway, we're on with DK and he's on a lap now and he's using. So let's see if they can knock Vaxi off the top spot or even Clem into second or third position. DK was awful at this game, and now whatever he has done, I think he had a bit of extra spread and a couple of other lads from PRF1, and now he seems to have got to real grips with this, and he takes that left-hander beautifully and gets the power down very nicely with 70% of battery left. So he's left himself a lot of energy to put a real fast sector 3 in here, and I'm expecting DK to be really on pace here this evening and hope that he can just keep it between the white lines. Clean and penalty-free race would be lovely. And here he comes. And DK puts it into third position with a 1:30.2. The top 4 or 5 guys. So that let's go stick the lap data on now, and I'm going to go with Baxi. He's on a night lap, so I'd like to see if Baxi can improve on this 1:29.740. Is there a 1:28 in Baxi tonight in this Aston Martin? It's a big ask, but Baxi sometimes really does surprise us, and he sometimes delivers the unbelievable. So let's wish Baxi all the best as he swings in to the first left, into the right, and then round that U-bend, and he gets the power down very smoothly there. Into the fast right-hander, and off he goes. Hits the DRS, and he is squeezing away at that ERS to give him maximum speed, and he gets that car right up to about 195 miles per hour before he slams it down. And that's not a bad sector 1, so let's see what he can do sector 2. Seven minutes and 43 seconds left of this quali tonight. Equal car performance is turned off, so everybody's in a car that matches their skill level. So the faster guys are in a slower car and the slower guys are in a faster car, and that normally is a method to try and level up everybody on the track and try and make the racing as clean as they possibly can. But on with Baxi, and he takes that corner, and he takes every bit of that corner, and he's now on a really, really fast part of the course as he approaches 200 miles per hour before he slams down into the left-hander. He takes all of the rumble strip and takes a bit of the rumble on the right, and he's going to try and get as much power around that corner. He just backs off very so slightly, and what does he get? No improvement. No improvement. He gets a 1:29.5, and that's going to stick at the minute. So he'll probably jump into the pits and he'll give it one last shot. But right now, we are on with Hosty, and Hosty's getting himself ready in the Mercedes to do a fast lap. Anyone watching tonight, it's really, really good to see you. Give us a bit of chat. Shout out anything, any requests, anything you want announced. You know what it's like. Newborns, divorces, engagements, marriages, anything at all. You shout it out, and Gavin will try and announce it for you on the live stream this evening with PRF1. We're in Singapore. It's a dry race. We're in the evening with the lights, and it's a humid old night by the looks of it. And the drivers are well on their way now to setting their stamp on this grid for this evening. But right now, at the moment, provisional pole is Baxi, and he has a 1:29.5, and they're all going to be trying to chase that without a doubt. So Hosty's on a lap, and we'll ride on board with him. It looks like he is a lot of battery there, and maybe he wasn't putting in a lap in earnest there. Let's just see. But he left an awful lot of battery left there, and Hosty puts it in 7th position with 55% of his ERS battery left. So Hosty will definitely improve in that, and that's a hell of a lap, not having used all of his battery. Let's go on with Misfits. He's in the Ferrari, and he's now warming up for his second attempt to try and beat his 1:31.531. I must admit that Ferrari looks delightful under the floodlights here in Singapore. I've been to Singapore, and I must admit it's a fascinating city. You've got Little India, you've got Chinatown, and they're all in there, all the little stands selling the fake watches and the art and everything like that. An absolutely amazing city. And then whenever you get into the very modern part of the city, it's really, really high tech. And in fact, the airport at Singapore, the runway and the taxiway for that airport actually goes over a road above the road. So you drive underneath the tunnel, and there are the large aircraft taxiing along right above your head. It's quite a sight, to be honest with you. Beautiful city, beautiful weather, and to be honest with you, lovely people as well. And if you ever get the chance to go to Singapore, I could highly, highly recommend it. So the Ferrari's away, and Misfits is trying to improve on this 1:35.02, and he's in sector 1 at the minute, and he's up by 500ths in sector 1. Takes that right-hander as sharply as he can. Somebody else has just logged on and started to watch. Whoever that is, you're very, very welcome. It's Gavin Bass 1, and it's good to see you on board. Into the technical section. This left-hander can catch a lot of people out, but he takes that beautifully and cuts the corner beautifully, and now he is on a roll on the DRS as he approaching 180 miles per hour before he slams into this right-hander, and then he's going to set off to get onto the left-hander here, and look at that, he is flying. So this could be a really, really good lap by Misfits. Can he get it into the 129s? Not too sure, but I do think he's going to improve. He does. He gets into a 130.297, so that puts Misfits into P6 in that beautiful Ferrari, and that's a well done to you, sir. On with Clem. Clem still sits in P2 at the moment with his 129.656. But just about everybody is out on the track at the moment, and I'm going to go on with somebody that I haven't been on yet this evening, and that is Andrew. I don't think he is on a lap, but Fuse Demon is, and we'll just stay on Fuse to see if he can improve on that 137.23. But look at that, there's really nothing between them all. Everybody's in the 130s apart from Vaxi, who's on a 129.5. And Fuse is just outside of the 130s at 131.5. And it looks like Daddy Snipes has now joined us. That's Daddy Snipes 6007. He sent me a message earlier on Twitch to say that he was en route, and I'm really, really glad to see that it has made up to another person on the grid, and that gives us 13 racing tonight. So here comes Fuse. He's coming round for this really, really difficult left-hander. And he gets that sharp, and he's away. Hits the DRS zone. 50% of the battery left. Slams it up into 7th, and then round this corner. And he wants to try and keep as much momentum on that corner as he possibly can. He's driving the McLaren this evening, and that McLaren's going quite well right now at the moment. Taking every centimetre out of that left-hander and round this fast left-hander, and across the line he goes. And Fuse doesn't improve on the 138.64. He stays in 12th position. So who have we got out now? We're on with Dystopian. He's starting in 10th at the moment, but I would fully expect him... 9th he's on, sorry. I would fully expect Dystopian to better that. And right now at the moment, he is 3/100ths or 3/10ths up, sorry, on his previous lap. So Dystopian is making progress here on this last run for quali before the race starts in Singapore this evening. He takes all of that, and he's rapid. Driving the Haas this evening. Slams on the brakes, and right onto that DRS zone he'll go. Short shifting up into 7th gear. 129.3 with a Hosty, so Hosty's knocked Vaxi off the top spot. That's an incredible lap, Hosty. Well done, sir, and take a bow and keep her lit. Still on with Dystopian, and round the corner he goes. And here he comes. He's just about to go over the line. Can he better this 135? I do think he will, quite considerably. I would say he's in the top 3 here. No, he gets a 129.781, and that's only good enough to put Dystopian in P7 in this Haas this evening. And that looks like the end of our quali this evening. So there you have it. It's Hosty in the Vaxi in the Aston Martin, Master Spread in the Alpine. That's a super lap for Master Spread. Sorry I didn't get to you. Clem, DK, Vice, Dystopian, Random, Misfits, Fakey, Andrew, Fuse Demon, and Daddy Day Snipes didn't get a lap in, but at least he did make it for the race, and I'm really glad to see him. So 13 on the grid. Is 13 the unlucky number? I do know that there's a very, very high possibility of a safety car tonight, like really high possibility. I think it was giving something like 90%. I've got a few facts and figures later. We're going to go into the pits where the drivers their 5 minutes. Don't be ready and up now until the host, and he will then obviously start. There's a formation lap tonight, but it'd be nice if there is, because it's nice just to go down the drivers. If I'm in a Haas, why is he in the Aston Martin? Well, DK, that is something that you need to ask the boss and not a commentator. I'm just the host. I'm back to commentary. Remember, guys, if you subscribe to the channel, you can do it free if you have an Amazon Prime account, and they will then pay that for you. I'm not faster than you, though, says Vaxi. So there's a right old. Yeah, you are, he says. Well, to be honest with you, it's anything that I've seen, certainly in quali, but you know what? We don't want to be quali heroes, we want to be race heroes, and there's a few race heroes out there, the likes of Dystopian and people like that. Those are the guys that you really want to aim your sights on. They can run races with no penalties, and they generally do very well. But anyway, on that note, this evening, I'm going to do a little special for you this evening, and I'm going to play the national anthem of Azerbaijan. And by the time this is over, there's a little air show at the end of it for you too. So enjoy. So DK's relying on a good start. The guys are now setting up, and I'm now going to swap you over to the national anthem. So I don't know what happened there, but a little technical issue. DK says he disconnected, so he can't fuel. That is unfortunate. So P1 Hosty, P2 in the Aston Martin is Vaxi, P3 is Master Spread in the Alpine, P4 is Clem in the Red Bull, DK's in the Haas, and he's ghosting unfortunately. So I don't know what's happened to DK. That's a disaster. In the Alpine, we have Vice Racing in P6. In 7, we have the Haas of Dystopian. And in 8th, we have Random in the Mercedes. And in the Ferrari, we have DK's in the race. At least that's good, buddy. Misfits is in the Ferrari. P10, we've got Bakey Gaming. And he's in the McLaren. P11, we've got Bakey Gaming, Andrew Pip Smith, and Fuse Demons in the McLaren, and Daddy Day Snipes. Hosty seems to have lost connection, or no, he didn't. He just didn't park right. So here we go. We're riding on board Hosty. And they're off. Hosty gets away. There's a wee bit of touchy-feely there, but nothing serious. Everybody's having the lake break here. They just need to be very, very patient on this first lap of this Singapore Grand Prix with PRF1 in the Hamilton division this evening. And right now, they've done that, and they're forming an orderly queue with Hosty leading it. And I'm just onto the back markers here to make sure everybody gets round this first few corners safely. Did Bakey Gaming get a wing damage there? No, he's fine. I just thought I saw a bit of carbon flying. But everybody at this moment in time has set off, and it seems to be a safe race right now, this minute. So on with Vaxi, and he's in the Aston Martin, and he's in P2, and he's chasing down the Mercedes of Hosty, who is currently leading the race on the first lap this evening here in Singapore. Nice start for DK. He's in P4 and he's chasing down Clem at the moment in the Red Bull. So even though he disconnected, even though he didn't get his tyres, and even though he didn't get his fuel sorted, DK has himself in P4 and he's now very much in this race. And it looks like the fastest lap was set there at 1:36.5 by Hosty. So Hosty's going really, really well tonight, and he's off to a very good start, I must say. On with Master Spread, he's driving the Alpine, and he's chasing down his old teammate DK. I know Master Spread was definitely very much involved in helping DK with his racecraft and getting him up to speed. So Master Spread, you take a bow for helping somebody out. It's great to see that in the league. And you are now on the tail end of your prodigy. Just a wee bit squirrely there. Just making sure that those hard tyres set in, and as we say, talk about tyres, we'll just have the tyres, and everybody's out on mediums. Misfits has gone for a soft tyre start, unusual, but he knows Master Spread and Fuse Demon on hards, so they're going to set off for a longer stint, and they're probably going to go hard, medium, medium, or maybe even hard, medium, soft, depending like on this track. In the fastest lap now, 4:5.52, and this is turning out to be quite a close race considering So well done, guys, for keeping it tight and providing a bit of fun this evening and Saturday night. And shame on all the guys who signed up for this race and they've got really good excuses. Maybe the barbecues. Anyway, it is what it is. But when it comes to league time, I don't think the bosses will be too keen on jumping in and ready for a race and then not turning up. Maybe you did up logging out. I don't 18 or 19 drivers. But anyway, who needs them? We've got a hell of a race going. It's not much between all the guys at the moment. And we've got to P4 now, and there's a bit of a battle going on for the 4th position as the Aston Martin of Vaxi is now in the lead. And I don't know what happened to Hosty, but he just got himself down into P4. But that doesn't matter. It's only lap 3 of 62 grueling laps here in Singapore in the very humid heat in the evening under the spotlights, and we're getting shaped up here for a very, very enjoyable race. Anyone who's watching, again, always, thank you very, very much for logging in and enjoying the streams from Gavin Bass 1 and every Saturday night and every show, just watching there from behind. This is a close battle here, an absolute close battle. But yes, every Saturday night and every Tuesday night I do commentary for the Lauda division on a Tuesday night, and it's a brilliant league. Clean league. Dystopian, he's never far. To track down DK in P3. Oh, somebody in the Red Bull has spun out, and that's Clem. Clem has had it there. He's had a spin out. Let's have a wee look to see if he got any damage there. Nothing. No, Clem, you got away with that. So good, man. That's good. That's still you, still very much in the race as you now track down Random and give him a run for his money. But just watch out. You've got Vice behind you. Oh, Vice. Vice has just made a real error there, and he has put himself into 11th position, and he has also picked up wing damage on the left-hand side of that Alpine, and he will be the first to have to pit and put a new wing on. Stay out there, Vice. Take your medicine, put your wing on, and get on there and start putting in some solid fast laps. You'll be in the clean air, and you'll be in a good position to try and pick up some time, because all the guys up front are battling away there, and they will allow you to gain time. So don't give up, don't pit, and don't retire. Keep at it. Just seeing if there's any penalties so far. Yeah, Clem has picked up a 3 second, and that's the first penalty of the evening. Clem's in P9. But right now, they're all starting to separate, but at the minute, Baxi is still holding the lead here in the Aston Martin, but he has DK, my Scottish friend, who loves haggis and a few varieties, all the way from Scotland, and he is tracking down Baxi at quite a rate and has opened up a gap now of 2 seconds to Dystopian. But I wouldn't let that worry me. I've seen Dystopian many night after night after night. He just grinds on, he keeps it clean, he keeps it steady, and he will be on your tail before you know it. That I promise. Master Spread in P4, he's having a go here, and he's trying to get a bit of speed and get a bit closer to the gearbox of Dystopian, and they're going to have a battle, and Master Spread ain't no slouch. Veteran of the game, and one that dominated last season in a lot of different leagues. Gets the DRS on Dystopian, and he's going to gain a wee bit of time here, and he's going to get closer and closer to the box of that pass car. But DK and Dystopian are very, very close now, and they will now probably race together as teammates and try and pull away and then obviously get in front and try and dominate this race. Be interesting to see just how they go. I'm Gavin Bass 1. This is Saturday Night Hamilton Division with PRF1, and all the viewers watching this race are very, very welcome. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and remember Amazon Prime, if you're a member, you get your subscription free, and that will then eliminate all the advertisements. And I apologise for the advertisements, but they do bring in a little revenue for Gavin Bass 1. So Master Spread's right on the box, and Dystopian is now tracking down this third position. He's in third position, and he's now tracking down DK, who is staying very, very closely in the DRS zone of Vaxi in that Aston Martin car, who's leading the race this evening. Lap 6 of 62. Absolutely brutal laps of this Singapore Grand Prix. As I was saying earlier, it did say that there was nearly 100% chance of a safety car tonight. But right now, everybody has kept a clean race, and it looks like the separation has now started, and all being well, we won't have any safety cars this evening. Dystopian has that gap down to 1.4 seconds now, and he's doing everything he possibly can to get on the box of DK and then make up a 3 or 4 car train at the front as they battle forward. Don't know what happened to Hosty, but he is ghosting for some reason. Yeah, Hosty is ghosting. Or is he back? We're on the helicopter view at the moment, which I love, looking down on that spotlit track. Yeah, Hosty is ghosting, so I'm just going to pop in and see if I've got Hosty in the... let's have a wee look. Unfortunately, I don't have him, so I can't invite him. So just on that note, guys, there's an Aston Martin, or an Alp, that is Bakey Gaming, and that looks like Bakey has made a big mistake, and he's now riding along with no wing and no end plates whatsoever. So he's definitely going to have to visit the pits, and he's very vulnerable at the moment. Definitely going to have to repair that vehicle before he goes on with this game. Let's hope he doesn't retire in the pits and calls it quits, but no, he doesn't. He's a true warrior. He gets a new set of hards on, and he's going to blast on and continue on with this race, which is the proper thing to do. Oh no, Vice has DNF'd. Why has Vice DNF'd? So our first DNF this evening is Vice, and he has retired, or whatever. I missed it. But the main race at the moment looks to be right up front between DK and Vaxi, and look who it is. It's Dystopian, the Predator, and he is now chasing down the prey off the in front of him. Just as the book says, with Master Spread in P4, and then there's quite a separation of 7 seconds down to Clem, Posty, Fuse Demon, and Daddy Day Snipes. But Daddy started from the back of the grid, and he's got himself up into P8. And in that Ferrari, he is zooming along, and he's trying to get onto the back of Fuse in the McLaren, and he will soon try to make a move here. There's your position changes. The biggest winner tonight is Daddy Day Snipes. And he is 5 positions up, as is Fuse. The biggest loser was Vice, who's DNF. And Random and Bakey are both down 2 positions. But Hosty is down 5 positions from where they started this evening. Misfits, Random, Andrew and Becky have all made one stop. And there you have the tyres. They stuck on the hard tyres early on, so they're going to run them and then put a set of mediums on for the end and duration of this race, if they can. But quite a bit of progress going on here with the Ferrari, and I think it's only a matter of time. Hughes is very vulnerable here, and I think we're going to see a move very shortly here. He's got the RS. Will he try and make the move here in the inside? Let's have a look. No, he backs out of that, and he's just going to bide his time. He's got 65% of the RS zone here, and here's his opportunity. Can he make it stick? But no, Hughes is defending. He's doing a bloody good job by keeping this Ferrari at bay just right now at the moment, but I'm not sure he can do it for too much longer because the Ferrari seems to be showing quite a bit of pace here. So go ahead, Daddy Snipes 6007. You just keep her lit, sir, and keep her going. But if you look at the track map now, there's really only two races going on, and that is Daddy, and he's trying to track down and make a move into the 7th position that Fuse holds at this moment in time. So I'm going to bounce on to the front of the track where Vaxi, DK, Dystopian, Master Spray, a four-way scrap. I've got massive separation, but I just want to see if Daddy Day Snipes, I think his name is Daddy Snipes. I'm not too sure if it's Daddy Day Snipes. I used to commentate on somebody called Daddy Day Snipes. I don't know if it's the same guy or he's maybe slightly changed his name. I don't know. But here we go. He's going to make it stick this. Oh, he backs out of it again this time. Fuse has just got the pace and he's just keeping him at bay as best as he possibly can. But he doesn't have enough now. The move has been made. Oh, and he's just keeping him in the inside here. This is a real battle going around that left-hander. And they're going on to the start and finish grid now. And Fuse is now on the tail of Daddy. But he is starting to show signs of being able to pull away in this Ferrari. Lap 11 of 62, and I've got the hiccups. So as promised, I said I would bounce back up to the leaders, and that's exactly what I do. But Vaxi is still holding the lead here with the two Haas's of DK and Dystopian right behind, and Master Spread just prowling in those hard tyres behind them. So Spreader is in 4th position at the moment, equaling all three cars in front of him, and he's on the hard tyres, 10 laps. So those mediums will start to show a little sign of tiredness soon, and I would like to think that Spreader will start to make quite shortly on this group that's leading currently in 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. So I'm just going to ride on board with Spread because I think it's time he needs to start making a move and taking total advantage of the strategy that he's picked this evening of going on hards. I must admit, Singapore is a difficult track to make moves on. You just the tail and you have to have a fair bit of battery to make the moves if you're going to do them on corners. And in the DRS zone, again, you have to be right on that tail because the DRS. So it's getting that rapid pace round that corner. Keeping the end is what you're going to have to do to make a move here. Master Spread's obviously driving with limited traction control. You can see as he puts the power down into those corners, the car does take a little wiggle from time to time. So I'm not too sure Master Spread's using too many assists. As I say, he's a veteran, and just look at the formation of these four guys. They are just keeping it really, really tight between one another. And thankfully, they're providing anybody watching tonight with a fairly decent race, because it really could have turned out nasty. But Bakey Gaming and both Vice have now DNF'd, which leaves it an 11-car race in a 62-lap session. And I really hope that this does not turn out to be a bore fest. If so, I'll stick it on to broadcast mode, and I think I will just go for a coffee and a smoke. But right now, it's not that time, because we've got excitement here in P1, 2 and 3. Hughes Demon's not letting Daddy Day Snipes go here. He's staying on that tail, and he is also in 12-lap old hards. But is Random still ghosting? Somebody was ghosting there. Let's see. It's Hosty, is it? Yeah, Hosty. So for some reason, Ghosty is out of the race. So we really only have 10 drivers now in this 100% race this evening with PRF1 Hamilton Division. Across the bridge and round that really tight left-hander, and that Ferrari is trying very, very hard now to get on board. That Ghost is a real menace, and I don't know whether Hosty retired on track or he's had an issue with internet. But if you are going to retire, guys, best place to do it is in the pits, and then that way your car doesn't come out and torture everybody on track. Hughes Damon has just found himself outside of the DRS of Snipes, and he's going to have to really get the foot down and try and get back into that zone again. But you can see how that ghosting car is causing problems. Really unfortunate. But I think you can just drive through them. I don't know what way AI works, but it probably gathers up the information on your first few laps, and then it keeps the car fairly well at the pace that you were going. So if Hosty was going fast, I think it sort of keeps that car on that type of pace. So yes, it is causing issues on track now for the rest of the drivers. Back on with the race leaders. Baxley still holding that. Take off any of these three guys. He's now on medium tyres, and I tyres of Spreader should be in a make a move. It would be Daddy Day Snipes, or Daddy Snipes, is now in the pits. Let's see what he's doing in there. He's getting a new wing, fortunate, and he also has a nice new set of medium. Rejoin the lead, and it looks like he's going to be in P10 when he comes out of the pits. So he's got his work cut out for him. It's going to be a battle and a race as everybody now separates behind the leaders. So I'm going to go down each one at a time. In the Aston Martin, we've got Vaxi. In the Haas behind him, we've got DK, followed by his teammate on track, and that's Dystopian. Could have really written the book here, and then we've got Master Spread in that Alpine in P4. But look at Clem. he's in the Red Bull, and he's not that far behind. So Clem is going to be really pushing hard and see if he can join this train. Clem's also on mediums, so again, Fuse Demon is quite a bit behind them, so they're in safe territory at the moment, and they can just keep continuing on to separate and make more of a gap at front. Oh, it just caught Clem making a boo-boo, and he's just lost his complete front wing. He's now ghosted, and I've got this funny feeling that Clem is going to pit and regroup, or he might even just throw the towel in, but let's see what he does. He's going to find this lap very, very difficult with absolutely no aerodynamics in the front of that car. So he's going to have to nurse every corner and just get the brakes on ever so slightly earlier to try and control this car all the way around to the pits, where he will definitely have to put a new front wing on. As you can see, both end plates are away. Well, certainly one end plate is away in that Red Bull, and inevitably it shows you there that he's losing a lot of traction because his aerodynamics are completely screwed now. Clem will be glad to see the pits here because it's a must stop for him. He just can't continue with the aerodynamics completely up the left. As you can see, he has to really, really control that car. And then he goes, and let's see what he does. He's obviously going to set for a set of hards and also get a new wing. So there you have it. New front wing, new set of hards, and off goes the Red Bull out of the pits, and that's going to put Clem well down in the reckoning now. But at least he's got the change done and he can now focus. He's got lots of clean air in front of him, and he's now in a position to put in constant fast laps and try and just play. But a difficult job ahead of Clem, and he's not going to find that terribly, and it's going to take those hard tyres 2 or 3 laps to really get into the groove. So there's no close racing going on whatsoever behind the leaders, so I'm going to bounce on with them. And here we go. It's the same old queue. It's Vaxi, DK, Dystopian and Master Spread. The Aston Martin is holding them both off. And you can see, as I've said earlier, that Master Spread is on the hard tyres, and these medium tyres will surely be starting to ask for some assistance in terms of either nursing them or else getting in soon for a change. I say those guys are going to either go on medium, hard, medium, or they're going to go medium, medium, hard. I just don't know. All 4 of them in the DRS train, so this is going to be the fight for the winner of this Grand Prix tonight. 4 fantastic drivers in a row, and it's all going to be down to their pit stops. It's going to be down to their strategies. It's going to be down to how much fuel they put in, and it's going to be down to whether they can keep it penalty free and also be sure they don't pick up any damage. But right now, they're doing exactly what they should do. They're just keeping on pace with each other, and there's a little bit of mistake there, and Vaxi just got himself a bit of a squirt ever so slightly out of DK's DRS zone, and DK push ever so slightly to get back on board there, but there's no reason why he can't. because he's got a bit of battery there and he's just used it, and right back he comes, straight back in to the DRS zone, and Vaxi couldn't make the split at that particular time. The last thing that these three guys behind Vaxi want to do is fight just at the moment. They have got to stay in this DRS zone, and they've got to use patience and just try and literally act like a predator and just wait on that fella against a mistake in front of them and make the pounce. I can't see any of them inside at the moment or making any dive bomb moves or any stupidness at the moment. They're just going to ride this race out. They're pulling away massively. They're now 18 seconds ahead of him, and they are just going to dominate this race and try very, very hard to stay together. 1:34.389. And I'm going to fix myself a little coffee, and I'll be back with you very, very shortly. The music in the background is my wife's. Enjoy. So that's me with my coffee fixed and back on the commentary. I hope you can still hear me okay, anybody that's watching. If you happen to be watching, just give us a thumbs up or a little bit of chat there. I'm getting a bit bored, but it looks like people have made a few stops. Let's just have a look and see what has happened here while I was fixing myself a coffee. So yes, it looks like DK and Misfits have made a stop. Dystopian has made a stop, and Random is still out on that track, ghosting, I think. Let's just see if he is ghosting. No, I don't think he is. So has Random got his act together again? He's rejoined the game, and it looks like he's live on track again, and that's really, really good to see. So glad he got back into the game. He must have had some real serious internet connections. But look, oh no, it wasn't random. Sorry, I'm doting. It was Hosty, and Hosty is still ghosting. So Hosty's the ghosty. Spread's strategy is now starting to show some signs of a reward, as P2, and he's still running on 21 lap holes or hards. But Baxi has decided to stay out, and he is stretching those medium tires to 21 laps, and I'm sure they must be down to about 30-40% by now. So very, very interesting strategies going on here. Master Spread out is 21 lap old hards against 21 lap old mediums, and I really do think if Faxi stays out much longer, he just might get nabbed here. So I would fully expect to see him coming in very, very soon. Penalties still stay at 3 seconds for Clem. Nobody else has had a penalty this evening, which is amazing. Everybody's made a stop apart from Vaxi and Spreader. So right now at the moment, the track positions are pretty well equal apart from these two top guys who have still to make a change. And it'll be very interesting to see where Misfits and DK are in the reckoning once they make their stops. So I'm going to stay on board with them and watch every move just right now at this moment in time, because there's nothing really else going on in the race because it's very separated. Dystopian gets a 1:34.325, and he's also made his stop, and he's still sitting there nicely in 5th position, and he will then regroup with these two guys when they decide to make the pit. So it'll be interesting to see what time is made up by these two guys battling on here. And they are in each other's DRS zone, and they're pulling each other along lovely. But I think the time has come where Master Spread will be thinking about getting out in front and maybe running those hard tires on for another lot of laps. Let's see what he does. I'm Gavin Bass 1. This is PRF1 Hamilton Division on a Saturday night. It's a 100% race. It's not equal cars, and Random gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. So he now puts himself on the board, and that just might cost him at the end of the race, depending on who's behind him. But you can see now, Spread has now got pace, and those medium tyres of Vaxi's are starting to say help, and he needs to listen to them very, very carefully. But he's not going in just yet. He's taking another lap out of them. So he is pulled over, and he's just going to let Spreader through. And that's a tactical move, if ever I've seen it. And he's just now going to try and get the toe. Random user has thrown the towel in, and he has now DNF'd, or there's been some sort of a spin. And now there's a caution, and it looks like there's possibly a safety car or a virtual safety car. But certainly right now it's yellow flag. But it looks like they're back on, and they're away. And Spreader still has Vaxi hunting him down and trying to take the maximum distance out of his medium tyres. So Vaxi is in a pretty good position here if he can just hold it. But you can see now Spread has the pace, and Vaxi is now fallen clean out. Hughes Demon has just been rewarded with 3 seconds of a penalty for multiple track. DK's coming up on the back of Misfits. They've both had a stop. And Misfits slowed away down there. Don't know what happened there. Is there a safety car out? Am I missing something? Let's have a wee look. In they come to the pits. So there's your tyre situation. Baxi done a fantastic job there keeping on 24 laps on the mediums, and he's made it work, and they're both in the pits at the same time as everybody else is now going to catch. So let's just see where they are on track whenever this finishes. And there goes DK. DK gets himself into P1. He's on 5-lap old mediums, and he's now going to be tracked down by 0 mediums on Master Spread's car, and also brand new hard tyres on Vaxi's Aston Martin and Misfits Ferrari. Dystopian is also changed, and he's not far behind, and he has a little work to do. And yes, there is a safety car, as I thought. So Random caused that safety car with his accident there, and they've now all had a chance to regroup. So this now has, you know, it's going to put an equal playing field out there. Let's just have a wee look now to see what the changes are. So DK has got himself 4 positions up. Master Spread is up 1 position from where he started, but look at Misfits. Misfits is up 5, and Dystopian is up 2. The biggest loser is Hosty. He's down 6, and Clem's down 2. Daddy Snipes is up 5, Fuse is up 3, Andrew's up 1. And Andrew's still hanging in there like a true warrior every week. Week in, week out, Wednesday nights, Saturday nights, he's there. He is a loyal racer in this league of PRF1. Andrew having a smashing race some night, and it will come. It will come. So that 100% safety car probability has come, and it has happened. So Master Spread's in the pits again for some reason. What did he do? He decided to put a set of hards on. So Master 62, and he's going to push them even mediums. Let's see what happens. Again, anybody watching, give me a shout out, give me a bit of chat. Be good to hear from you. This car of Hosties is still ghosting, and it's really, really unfortunate that this has happened, because it is really, really off-putting. We're down to 10 drivers, Random, Bakey and Vice DNF from this race in Singapore, and that's an unfortunate. DK now holds 4 lap. He's now pole position in this race. He's in P1, but look behind him. He's got 5 really, really seriously fast drivers, and it looks like he's going to have his work cut out with him, because he's on 6-lap old mediums versus 1-lap old and 2-lap old hards. So there's going to be a good old battle going on here, as Vaxi really weaves to try and get some temperature into those hard tyres for the start of this restart in Singapore. I think this will be the last lap of the safety car, so we're coming close now to a restart. This has given the guys behind that were trailing a real good opportunity to get themselves back into the race and get everything back onto an equal playing field. So now's your chance, guys. You're in the race again, and you've got every single opportunity to make something out of this race. Quite a few more viewers on. It's great to see you, whoever you are. If you can type a little message, let me know who you are. I'll chat to you. And you can give me your predictions for who's going to win this race tonight. But just look at the lineup in behind this safety car now. I'll go down them one by one. We've got DK. We've got Baxi in the Aston Martin. We've got Misfits in the Ferrari in P3. We've got Dystopian in the Haas of P4. We've got Clem back in the race after quite a bit of damage in the Red Bull in P5. And we've got Posty still ghosting. And we've got Master Spread in P7 in the Alpine. Daddy Snipes is in the Ferrari in P8. Fuse Demon is in 9. And Andrew Smith is now very much back in this race in P10. And they're away. I'm actually surprised DK didn't dive into the pits there, but I'm sure he's in total control of what he's doing and whatever strategy he's going for. But he has put himself at a disadvantage because all the guys behind him are on hard tires, apart from Fuse and Andrew, who have selected mediums. Everybody's hanging into the DRS zone just right now, so there's nobody pulling away at the moment. That ghosting car is still causing problems out there. That Daddy Stay Snipes is going to have to try and make a move. Just drive through him, I think. That is so off-putting for a driver, I must say. This is a real unfortunate situation. I'm not putting any blame on Posty, but you can see if you're watching back. But just drive through him. That's it. Get yourself out of that shadow and get on with it. That's a nice move now, Snitzer. Couple of more decent corners and you'll be back on off Master Fred in the Alpine. But you really are going to have to push because those 5 guys in front of you are on a move. They are flying, and once you get on board there, you're going to be very much in this race. And it looks like you're doing exactly what you need to do. Hits the overtake button, and he's just trying to squeeze as much top speed out of that Ferrari as he can to try and get onto the back, and then he can relax a little and then start to build that battery back up again. But you can see the job that he's trying to do. It's not an easy one, but hopefully these 5 guys in front will slow each other down slightly and let this lad back on and enjoy the rest of this race at Singapore as he goes round over the start-finish line. And he now is only, he's still 2 seconds behind Spread. There's Andrew. He's in the Red Bull, and he now has to negotiate himself past this ghosting Mercedes of Hosty. Just drive through him, Andrew. There's your chance. It's so annoying because you're nearly tempted to brake where you should really just be getting the throttle on and getting right through him. There you go. Oh, nearly. This is your chance, and you've done it, thankfully, and you're away. Good man. And you're now tracking down the McLaren of Fuse Demon. You're penalty free, and you're in a really nice position now to enjoy the rest of this Grand Prix. But that job of Daddy Snipes is definitely not an easy job, and you can see that he's now being pulled away by 1.5 seconds by Master Spread, and the top 6 guys are now in a peloton, and they are fighting for position, and they're now going to try and play the strategy game. Baxy's just got a slight gap now, and Baxy should really push now and see if he can get himself out of the DRS of DK. But that's not an easy job to do. But he's got it up to 9 tenths. Sorry, he's back down to 8. So he was very close on pulling away from DK there, but not quite. DK hasn't an awful lot of battery to chase him, and Baxi has got 48%. So let's just see what Baxi does here. And I think those medium tyres, staying out on those mediums may have been a big mistake by DK. And he's now starting to show a little vulnerability here in second place. And Misfits is now right on his tail in the Ferrari. And I reckon DK is there for the taking. But let's just see if that move can be made sooner than later. These hard tyres are now 7, 6 and 7 lap old, so they're really in full tune, and they should be in a perfect condition for starting to make moves in this Grand Prix. Just slightly over halfway through the race, and we're on lap 32 of 62. This is PRF1 Saturday division. It's the Hamilton division, and we are live in Singapore, and it's a dry race so far, and there's been one safety car, and they've all regrouped, and they're now back on track, as you can see. But Baxi has done what I thought he was trying to do, and he's pulled away that 1 second gap. But it's just been very closely tailed, and ever so slightly, DK winds him back in again, and he's just trying so hard to get out of that zone, and then he can express on. But once he pulls if Baxi can get 1.2, 1.3, I think he can only start to really move. And DK is definitely vulnerable now, and I do think that Misfits is going to get him. Baxi gets the fastest lap of the race at a 1:34.262. Take a bow, sir. Well done. So you can visibly see that DK's pace is going off, and I honestly think the sooner that he jumps into those pits, I don't know what tyres he started off with, but I have a feeling they might have been mediums. So this is his chance to jump in and get those hards on. But look at that, inside, and DK tries so hard to defend that and does so. Sorry, I made a mistake there. Misfits did make the move. But now Misfits is on the back end of Clem, and Baxi is now a full 2 seconds ahead. And I would expect Baxi to make that even a larger gap now that he's got clean air and there's boys battling behind him. So Clem doing a fantastic job tonight in P2 after the mishaps that he's had, wing changes and a couple of spins. To be sitting in P2, that safety car would have been more than welcome, and Clem would have been very, very happy to see it. Keep it up, DK. You're driving very, very well. But this Ferrari of Misfits is getting impatient, and I think he really, really is trying very hard to make a move on this Red Bull in front of him. But considering there's really only 9 drivers left, Hosty is ghosting. He's on 10 lap old softs, and he's thankfully right at the back now, and he's not causing any more distractions to the drivers. So the drivers can now fully focus on the job ahead, and that job for Misfits is to try and take Clem's P2 and get himself firmly into the chase. But Baxi is just pulling away, and he's now coming close to a 3-second gap on equal tyres. But we've got a 6-way battle now, 7-way battle. Snipes is in there too, and he's not far off. Andrew's just gapped, and he's slightly behind. Fuse is behind that, and as I say, Hosty's ghosting. So it's a 6-way battle here, 7-way battle at the front. Oh, the Ferrari just makes an inside move there. Can he make it stick? No, he doesn't, but he's going to try the switchback. And he needs to be left a wee bit of room here. And he's on the move for sure. And he's going to try and do something very soon to try and get past Dystopian. But Dystopian ain't no fool, and he's not going to let him pass too easily. He will be defending every corner as much as he can as he chases down Master Spread in P5 in the Alpine. Excuse me. So Dystopian has got a job, and his job is to try and catch Spreader. But that ain't an easy job, as you can see. He has Spread in front of him, but it's 1.6 seconds, and Spreader is in that DRS train ahead. Dystopian hasn't an awful lot of energy left in that battery to make speed up. So this is really down to drive and racecraft, and we can just see now that Dystopian is trying so hard, but that gap is opening up, and he just might be struggling. Apple fell asleep, didn't he? For fuck's sake. Apple, you've been down for every race on the Saturday night and you haven't attended one. What's up with you, bud? Be nice to see you out here some night, Apple. Let's see that exhausting pace that you've got. Maybe next week you can show up. Be nice to do a bit of commentary on you, buddy. Yeah, life does get in the way, Apple, and your career and your job and your family all come first, and this is be lovely to see you on track ASAP. Get a run for their money. Seeing you've just joined, they only started with 13 drivers. We're now down to 10, Apple. Posty on track at the moment. We had one safety car. The guys in front were pulling. Oh, here's in the Ferrari. And Snipes is trying the move. And oh yes, they're keeping plenty, just about enough room to keep it clean. And that's nice driving. But yes, the Ferrari makes the move. But look at that that Haas of him. He's chasing it down. And this is a wee battle going on here. And they need to really work together to try and gain some space in front, or they're just going to keep dropping time if the battle like that. You can just see how way big time there on that short period of time. And he has just opened up a whap on Dystopian. DNF'd. What has happened to Master Spread, I don't know. But he's just, there seems to have been a carnage on, I think Master Spread has had a spin and he has now found himself in the graveyard along with Random, Bakey and Vice. So we're now down to an 8-car race in a 62-lap race, and 37 laps have been done as Andrew Smith goes into the pits, and he's going to change on to hard tyres, I would say, if he's got a set. Let's have a look what he's doing. No, he's putting a set of soft tyres on 3 laps. So Andrew's probably going to go out and try and get a fast lap, and right now at the moment that held Vaxi at 134.2, very closely followed by 134.3 by Clem. So we've got a caution, but I don't think it's this one, or is it? Yep, it is. It's a safety car. And again, this is going to allow everybody to gather up again and get back into a race. This has actually been hard for the drivers, but good for me as a commentator, because the separation on the track was just getting that bad. I was getting really, really bored, apart from the 4 guys at the front. But now there's an opportunity again for everybody. And Andrew, putting those soft tyres on probably wasn't the smartest thing in the world to do, because had you put a set of mediums or hards on, you would very much be in the race. But with a set of softs, you are not going to be able to make the moves that are required in this Singapore Grand Prix, because it's very, very difficult to make passes here. And what you're going to do is just scrub them out and then find yourself being forced into the pits again to make a change. And that will drop you a lot of time. But I would say there's these few boys maybe pop in here. Wonder will any of the top guys go in? No, they're staying out. They're on 13, 14 lap old hards, and Fuse Demon is in 14 lap mediums. That was a possibly, I don't know, Fuse, if you're listening, was that an opportunity missed there to go in and change? But again, I think Fuse possibly might have went out on hards. And he's probably running out of tyres. So 23 laps to go in this Singapore Grand Prix, and it is action-packed in terms of safety cars. This is our second safety car of the evening, and we're waiting on Andrew, and well, we're not waiting on Hosty. He's going to ghost anyway. So on that note, I'm going to take myself a little break and get a cigarette, and I'll be back with you for the restart. Back to race. Gavin Bass is back, and it looks like Vaxi out front, and it looks like Clem in second. Daddy Snipes is in third in the Ferrari. We've got Misfits in the Ferrari in fourth, so we've got Ferraris working together here, and everybody is within the DRS of each other. So we'll go back to the interval changes, but everybody is within, and they are all racing for this final positions of this Grand Prix in Singapore. But unfortunately, we've only got 8 drivers left because Spreader, Random, Bakey and Vice have all DNF'd, and Hosty is ghosting. Unfortunately, we've got a good race going here, to be honest with you, considering. So, too downhearted, and let's enjoy the rest of this Singapore Grand Prix here in this humid evening in the marina. Baxi's pulled away that vital gap again, and he has now pulled away enough to get the rest of them out of the DRS. So Vaxi's doing a fantastic job, and he's showing real quality tonight and a very, very serious bit of pace on track. So Vaxi has got us set up right. He gets a wee bit tight to that corner there and just had the brake, and that has allowed that Ferrari to get back on. So Misfits is right on the tail of Vaxi, and he's racing a very, very good race this evening. Clem gets a 3-second penalty, and we'll just have a wee look at those penalties. Caution, or is that the last caution? Clem's now got 6 seconds of penalties, and that's going to cost him dearly if it stays like this at the end, because the guys, if they can stay behind him. But there goes a move in the Ferrari. That's a lovely outside move. Can he make it stick? They nearly touch wheels. The Ferrari's on the inside, but just cannot make that move on Vaxi. but he is right at it, and this is a good scrap now for P1, 2 and 3, and Dystopian and DK are not far off it. DK's in a nice position here with 4-lap-old hards, and he just might be dominant here, and it'll just be interesting to see how that works out for him. Misfits is definitely the fastest car on the track at the moment, and he's trying to make that move and get himself way out front so that he can make a change of tyres, because he's on 4-lap-old mediums and they will not last to the end of the race, I don't think. If he does get 24 laps out of these medium, he will be doing very, very well. And he will be in puncture area at the end if he stays on them. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But what a race we have, and hi to anybody watching. You're very, very welcome. And remember, if those adverts are annoying you, just subscribe to the channel, and you can do so if you have an Amazon Prime account. You just literally subscribe through your Amazon Prime, and Amazon Prime pay that for you, and then you don't have to use your own money. I'm just going to ride on board with DK for a second, because DK should be trying to make a move soon on that Red Bull of Clem, who's chasing down the Ferrari, who's chasing down the Aston Martin. And we've now got Daddy in the mix in the Ferrari in P5, and everybody's clean apart from Miss Clem. Dystopian has got a 3-second penalty, so Dystopian is going to be very much disadvantaged here as well. But he's now got himself in the zone, and he's now in the track of these 6 cars. So we've now got a 6-car show, and it's going to be quite exciting for the last 19 laps of this race in Singapore this evening. This on Saturday night division race cars, and it is this there's your stops, there's your penalties, there's your fastest lap. Now DK at 1:33.916. And there's your position changes. Misfits is having an absolute blast. He is driving very, very well tonight to hold the lead, and he has gained 8 positions, as has Daddy Snipes. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh no, Dystopian makes a very, very, very bad error there, and that's totally uncharacteristic of him, and he will be raging with himself, and he's just now taking himself way out of the chances of catching these people in front. So just going down them one by an idea where everybody is. So we've got Misfits in the lead at the moment in the Ferrari on a 6-lap-old medium tyres. In second place, we've got DK at the wheel with 6-lap-old hards. And I said earlier, he is in a very dominant position. He stays patient, he's going to win this race. I would be tipping DK for winning this race. He's got all the tools to do it. Baxi is on 20-lap-old hards and needs to make a stop. Clem in the Red Bull is in 20 lap old hards, 21 laps. He's very lap old hards, and they will and finish this race. Distance. So it's half Ferrari versus 7 lap old mediums are going to last to the end without a real serious bit of wear. So DK has this wrapped up if he can just keep his nerve and keep this clean for the duration of these next 17 laps. Clem's on the back of Baxi now, and there's 22 lap old hards and 21 lap old hards, and they're having a good old scrap. But I think there were opportunities missed there by not pitting onto the safety car, and they're now having to fight really, really hard for their track positions as Clem makes an easy move and should make the easy move round the inside, and he's now got the Aston Martin very much on his sights. He didn't make it move this time, but look at Snipes in 5th place. He's there in the chase as well, and this is where the race is going to be. Look at Andrew. Andrew's in 6th position. I know he's on 8 lap old softs, but look, he's in 6th position and he's run a completely clean race, which is really, really good to see for this driver who turns up week in, week out and tries and improves every week. So well done, Andrew. You know I'm a bit of a fan of yours and I really like to see you doing well. So well done, sir, for what you've done up to now. But that old scrap is still going on at the front, and those 9 lap old mediums are going to start to show sign of wear within the next 4 or 5 laps, and DK's 9 lap old hards should start to have a dominance in this race. And DK will try so hard in this next lot of laps to get that P1 position in the track and then try to separate and get a lot of fast laps in, because I've got a feeling there'll be a few guys still wanting to pit. You can see DK's and he's going to try and just stay on the back. He's got 80% of battery here, and we've still got that old ghost of Hosty there, but it's not making much difference now. The way of everybody. It's all good and everything is set up right now for DK to win this race tonight. And just down to DK, it's down to his patience and it's down to his racecraft, and he's going to be nursing those tyres as best as he can and try and push Misfits beyond what he really wants to do. But Misfits will protect every corner like it's so precious, and DK is going to try everything and get him. But Misfits has shown an awful lot of pace, and DK is really, really, really trying his best to stay in board here and stay within the DRS zone of this Ferrari. Misfits is having one hell of a race this evening. I'll go back to those position changes just to show you exactly. The fastest lap still is held by DK, and the position change then is dead easy to change. And we've got Misfits 8 positions up and Daddy Snipes 8 positions up in their starting positions, and they are having a fantastic race. The only penalties that are being held tonight so far is Clem with the 6 seconds, Dystopian with 6 seconds, and Fuse Demon with 3 seconds. So there you have the penalties. So 13 laps to go, 8 drivers on track. This is Singapore, and this is PRF1 Saturday division, and it's your Hamilton division, an all-new league, and it is really tight here at the front. I would love to know what the tire wear is on those medium tires of the Ferrari, as Misfits tries frantically to hold DK off in the 11 old lap hards, and it should be DK's race if he plays this right. But Misfits is putting one hell of a show on here, and he ain't giving that position away too easily, as DK still frantically to try and get on the gearbox and try and make that vital move that will give him P1 and some clean air to try and pull away this gap. And then that will Misfits to change. Happens. Coming on to lap 50 of 62 Singapore, I'm Gavin Bass 1. But they're all equal car. But so difficult to make a pass in Singapore. It really is, because the DRS zones are so short and the corners are so difficult to make inside moves on, or outside moves, to the fact. Another couple of watchers there, and good evening to anybody viewing. It's really nice to have you along. But DK is really starting to pepper this Ferrari of Misfits and putting the pressure down back at this position of the race. And he really needs to get that pass made. But will Misfits medium tires last another 12 laps on top of the 13 that he's already done? This is the question that needs to be answered. I must say, DK is racing a very patient race here, and he's just eyeing up that Ferrari, and he's just waiting to go, just waiting on Misfits to try and make a mistake, and then he will pounce. But right now is not making any mistakes, and Misfits is doing off this Haas of second position. In Scotland, this DK lad is putting this Ferrari under immense pressure, and Misfits will be feeling that pressure, and Misfits will know that he is vulnerable, and strategy-wise, he is definitely in the wrong position in terms of dominance on the track, because DK's hard tyres are definitely starting to show more pace than those mediums, and they are kicking in really nicely now, and it's just a matter of time. Singapore is not an easy track by any means. There's a lot of turns, there's a lot of technical sections, like this section in particular. And I would say when this race is over, these lads will be quite exhausted, because concentration is key here. That DRS as an ashtray on a motorbike. But missing nicely, he still has half a battery left there. DK is something similar that DK's using, and DK is just playing a patient game, and he's doing everything he can to build that battery back up again, and he's just waiting for the mistake, or he's waiting for those tyres to go off, and then I honestly believe DK will go on to win this race with ease. Oh, the Red Bull takes a spin, Clem makes another spin, and Baxi narrowly misses there. Thankfully, Clem didn't get any damage from what I can see. No, he didn't. So the Red Bulls are now together, and Andrew is now in those soft tyres. Those soft tyres are 15 laps old, and he is definitely going to need to pit very, very soon. But right now, he's fighting very hard against Clem, and he just might be able to take Clem out here, because he's on 29 lap old hards, and they're starting to show a little sign of being unstable, as Clem just recovered from a pretty bad spin there. Dystopian's back in sixth, 19 lap old mediums, and he's back on the tail end of Andrew. And Dystopian wants to get up into P5 here as soon as he possibly can, and I think he just might do it on this DRS zone now. Let's see what he can do. Yeah, he's going to do it, and he's going to make the outside move, and he's going to make it stick quite easily, and that puts Andrew behind him back into P6. But Andrew, penalty free, and he is running a very, very clean race up to now, and hats off. I would say Andrew has put a fair wee bit of practice into this race, because this is a big, big improvement on what he's been doing lately, and he's avoiding penalties. And the last thing I want to do is give him any sort of commentary curse here, because I'd love to see him finishing this race tonight with no penalties in P5 or P6. Fuse Damon's well behind him, and Fuse needs to make a tyre change, so he's not going to be threatened. So P5 is safe for him at the moment, but he does need to get in and get those tyres changed because they are definitely going to be screaming. So 8 cars still on track. Posty's ghosting, so 8 cars on track, and DK in the Haas is tracking down this Ferrari lap after lap after lap, and he's just waiting, and he's just literally being a predator on Misfits. 7 laps to go, and Misfits is still on those mediums, and DK is on 17-lap-old hards, and DK really needs to start thinking about trying to get in front of this Ferrari if he can. This is one hellish course to try and make a move. It really is. Daddy Snipes gets fastest lap of the race here with a 1:32.032. That's because he put a set of softs on and he went for fastest lap, and he did get it. So if this was a league situation, I think he would have got points for fastest lap. I'm not too sure if PRF1 give fastest lap points, but they do in quite a lot of other leagues. But this is your race right now. These two have been battling the whole time. Vaxie's on 30-lap-old hards, and surely to goodness they are struggling. And that seems to be reflected on his pace now. So strategy was everything, and it looks like DK has got the strategy right. But I'm not writing Misfits off yet. It's all down to what these medium tyres can do and whether they can hold out for the duration of this race. But they are going to be on the limit at the end of the race. But I don't think he has any intentions of boxing right now. Just look at this rat race here. Everybody else is totally separated. Daddy Snipes is on the back of Clem now in P8 in the Ferrari on those 3-lap-old softs. And Clem is on 9-lap-old hards. So I don't know whether Daddy will be able to get him or not. It's going to be an interesting move, that. But look at Andrew. Andrew is in P5 and he's on 18-lap-old softs. My goodness, Andrew, that is frantic. How you're making those softs work, I don't know, but my God, they must be close to puncture. And he's going for an outside move. And he makes it work. Daddy makes it work, and he takes Fuse Demon, and he's now tracking down Clem for P6. Andrew's harvesting, and he's got lots of battery, so Andrew is doing a fantastic job. If he could ever get onto the back of Dystopian, it would be a sterling job, but I honestly think he is running the risk of a puncture here. I'd love to know what the tyre wear is. Andrew, if you are listening, and you do happen to watch the stream back, let me know what those tyres are like, just for my own interest. 19 laps on soft tyres. This is phenomenal. 5 laps to go, and DK is still in the DRS zone of Misfits, and Misfits is frantically trying to hold off this Haas. Is DK leaving it to the last 2 or 3 laps just to make sure that these medium tyres of Misfits are completely done before he makes the move? But right now he's on 20-lap-old is, and maybe his tyres are starting to show big signs of wear as well. So this is an interesting one. This is a battle of the tyres. 20-lap-old mediums versus 20-lap-old hards. DK half a second behind, firmly in the DRS zone and firmly in a position of opportunity. Whether he can take it or not is another thing. 4 laps to go. Position 1, 2 and 3 right now at this moment in time are all penalty free. They've had a fantastically clean race and they haven't got any penalties whatsoever. And if you look at these interval or the position changes, there's your position changes now. Misfits has come up 8 positions to be in this P1 position. And look at Daddy Snipes, he has up 7 positions to be in P6, even though there are 4 DNFs. But there goes a move, and DK tries the inside move, and it's now looking like DK is starting to squeeze that syringe and then starting to inject some pace into this Haas car to try and make this a showdown ending of our Singapore Grand Prix Saturday night on the PRF Hamilton division. And this has been one very, very patient race by the Haas driver from Scotland this evening. DK just does a wee sort of outside swing there from time to time just to show Misfits in the mirror that you've got a mirror full of Haas car here, and he's harvesting and he's got battery and he is in a very good position. He's leaving it late to make a move, but once he does make a move, I honestly think that DK could win the race. DK's just sizing up this Ferrari and he's just staying in that DRS zone for one more lap, and then he is really going to have to think about making the move. He can't let Misfits hold him off for much longer or he might throw this away. But Misfits seems to be holding that very, very nicely, and there doesn't seem to be too much sign going on here or any sort of kickback from those warns. So this is one hell of a drive by Misfits right now. But look at the pace DK has behind him in these DRS zones, and I can see something going to happen very shortly. Let's hope it doesn't end in tears. Clem gets 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Wow, look how close this is now. DK's doing everything he possibly can now to get into that really close tail end position so they can press that DRS button and make the move. And I think it's going to happen very, very soon. I really do. Again, he shows himself in Misfits' right-hand mirror there, just letting Misfits know and trying to put the ultimate pressure on this Ferrari driver. And I honestly, honestly do believe there's going to be some sort of a move very soon. I can visibly see pace in this Haas car compared to the Ferrari, as I reckon these tyres have exhausted themselves. But what a drive from Misfits. What an effort. And if he can win this race, I can tell you he will be my worthy driver of the day. But I don't know how he's going to hold off this Haas right now, because it's showing a lot of pace. And he's getting closer and closer to the gearbox. And he has had the most patient race I've ever seen DK run. And I think he's had the plan all along to leave it to this last lap. And he's going to push really, really hard now to try and make that move, because he's running out of time, and Misfits is doing one hell of a job. Last lap, Singapore, PRF1 Hamilton Division. This has been one hell of a race, considering the poor turnout. And it's now down to DK to try and do the move. He's got 62% the battery left. What's Misfits got? He's only got 44. So DK's got the upper hand in battery, and he needs to get the upper hand on track. But right now, at this moment in time, Misfits is going to really protect every single corner, and he's going to try and keep the pace. And they start the final lap of this race as they go into the first left-hander, and DK is now starting to get very anxious, and he will know if he doesn't make a move soon, he is not going to win this Grand Prix, because Misfits is penalty-free, as is DK. What an outstanding drive from both of these drivers. The Ferrari of Misfits and the Haas of DK is unbelievable. And DK is doing one hell of a job in the Haas, that's for sure, because the Ferrari is definitely a faster car in this game. Vaxi's going to get P3 as well, so he'll be on the podium. Clem gets a 1:31.3, fastest lap of the race, as he stuck the soft tyres on and went for that. And Clem's in P7, but he does carry quite a bit of penalty, and he's going to be safe enough by the looks of it, because Andrew is 10 seconds behind that, and he is also penalty free. So a really good clean race in terms of penalties, and most of the safety cars were caused by single car accidents, just making bad decisions. And it looks like Misfits has done, honestly, an incredible job on those medium tyres, and he takes the win from DK. And that was one hell of a race. And Misfits, you completely proved me wrong. You went against all the statistics, and you made those mediums work. And in comes Vaxi. He's coming round the corner now, and he's going to take P3 in the Aston Martin. And that was a great drive by Vaxi. And Dystopian had a pretty bad race, and he just expresses himself there by sticking it into the wall in fourth position. And here comes Daddy in the Ferrari. He comes in fourth because of the penalty situation. So that was a fantastic drive by Daddy. And in comes Clem in the Red Bull, coming round the last right-hander onto the start and finish grid, with Fuse Demon coming in behind him and the ghost of Hosty behind him. And let's just welcome Andrew back. And I must admit, Andrew, take a bow. You have completed this Grand Prix with absolutely no penalties, and that has to be one hell of an improvement for you, sir. Well done. My driver of the day is an easy one. It goes to Misfits. He had massive improvement from P. I don't know where he started, but he gained a lot of positions, and he held off DK on those medium tyres right to the end of that race. And I don't know how you did that, but that was an incredible, incredible bit of driving. Ferrari 1, Haas 2, Aston Martin 3, as he raises that cup, and they'll now open up the champagne and spray it round everybody who's on the podium. Well done to Clem on the fastest lap. Amazing race. Did say no way should be in the Ferrari, haha. On equal performance, we about the same pace. We doing VC interviews. I can't do them, DK. I need a PC to be able to do that. Discord won't work on the PlayStation. I've already looked into it all week. But when I do get home in September or October, I will start doing VCs. But what a race, and what a race it was to watch, even considering it was a poor attendance. But you guys provided a fantastic race that did view, and you've got to admit, Misfits done a fantastic job holding you off there, buddy, because you were on the dominant tire, and I thought you were going to make a move. But see what? Singapore must be one of the hardest tracks to make a move on, because the DRS zones are short, and if you get on the box and you don't have a full battery, you've got no chance. So a lot of really brilliant individual performances. My driver of the day definitely goes to Misfits. So on that note, it's good night from Gavin Bass. It's good night to all the drivers. It's thanks to the drivers for turning up tonight. And as always, thanks to the admin team, the owners, and the stewards of this league for keeping it a really good league to drive in. And a big shout out to all the other drivers in the Hamilton division. Let's have you, and let's have you on a Saturday night, and let's get that grid filled up. I'm Gavin Bass 1. This was PRF1 Singapore, and the race winner this evening was Misfits, along with my driver of the day. Well done all, and good night.
Gavin Bass one on the microphone. The energy is high, feel the vibe in the zone. Engines roar as the lights go down. Racers ready, it's a battle for the crown. Who will rise? Who will stand tall? On the top step, they'll answer the call. With hearts racing and spirits ignited, the champion's moment is finally sighted. Adrenaline pumping, the crowd is alive. Speeding through corners, they take the dive. Every lap counts, the stakes are set. In this game of skill, there's no room for regret. Listen closely, hear the engine scream. Chasing glory, living the dream. Battles unfold on the asphalt track. In pursuit of victory, there's no turning back. Feel the thrill as the tires grip tight. Under the stars, everything feels right. Each curve a story, each turn a chance. In this high-speed dance, we all advance. As the checkered flag waves, the night concludes. The champion shines in the spotlight's hues. With the roar of the fans, they take their bow.